Joining us, when she first took office, it was a momentous day in Alberta history. Alison Redford was the first female premier. She defied the pollsters. She won a 12th straight majority for the Alberta Conservatives. But it's all been downhill from there. And tonight, the woman once at the top of Alberta politics is out of the game completely. Redford has quit as an MLA just one day before a report is released into her expenses. And now, as Jamie Dahl reports, there are even calls to bring in the RCMP.
She stunned her party and made history, becoming Alberta's first female premier. 3 years later, Alison Redford is stepping away from political life with a tarnished image and a legacy clouded by controversy.
Arrogant, as far as I was concerned.
I voted for her, but she was a disappointment, actually.
What do you think her legacy is going to be?
Hubris.
Embroiled in months of scandal and party pushback, Redford called it quits as an MLA today in an op-ed piece. She writes, "I recognize that mistakes were made along the way. In hindsight, there were many things I would have done differently. That said, I accept responsibility for all the decisions I have made." Redford resigned as premier in March at the height of a caucus revolt against her, triggered by a string of controversies over her leadership style and travel habits, including a $45,000 trip to South Africa to attend Nelson Mandela's funeral. Travel expenses she was eventually pressured to pay back. But the scandals only picked up steam. Last week, leaked documents of an Auditor General's report to be released tomorrow. Alleged documents were falsified so Redford could travel on the government plane alone. Alberta's current premier, Dave Hancock, says Redford did the honourable thing by resigning, but he's asking the RCMP to investigate all travel expenses.
That's the prudent thing to do in a circumstance of this nature.
In her piece, Redford says she is declining to weigh in and will leave it to others to analyse and comment on the past. But this political scientist says she may not be alone in some of her actions.
It certainly raises questions. People are wondering how many people did know. Is this part of the general practice of the party? Is this something that other leaders, premiers, MLAs have done?
The president of Alberta's longest-running party, Jim McCormick, says it was Redford's own personal choices that led to her demise. But it's clear it's going to be up to the entire party to win back the support it's enjoyed for 4 decades. Jamie Dahl, Global News, Calgary.
The mayor of an Ontario city is facing